Hey guys, welcome back to a new vlog. Today I'm going to be doing a monthly reset because we are about to head into March already. And I'm gonna be honest, March is one of my least favorite months of the year because I live in upstate New York where winter never ends. So it feels like it should be spring, but it's just not. It's gray, it's sad, rainy, cold. It's gross and I hate it. But we're gonna try and get ourselves hyped up for the month. I'm gonna try and set new goals. First off, I think we should do a little reflection on February, talk about how it went, if I hit my goals. Let's start with my goals for February and we can see if I accomplished them. First goal was I wanted to improve my nighttime routine. My nighttime routine sucks, honestly. I watch TV before I go to bed and I'm on my phone at the same time, so I have a lot of screen time and then I wonder why it takes me so long to fall asleep. So I was trying to improve that by not being on my phone as long before I go to bed. I don't think I was doing that well. But in the morning I was doing better about not immediately opening my phone and going on TikTok and sitting there for half an hour wasting my morning. So that's where I improved. I did try to go to bed earlier most of the time. It's difficult because it's like I don't want to go to sleep and then I wake back up and it's time for work again. You want to make the most of your nights. So that's something that I kind of improved on, but not like a lot. My next goal was to beat the winter blues. I not only struggle with regular depression, but I also have seasonal depression. So from like November to April, May, I'm like really down in the dumps, which is a really long time of the year. So I try not to let it affect every single day, but there's a general overall feeling of meh. It just doesn't bring me joy to be living in the cold, snowy, gray weather. So like whenever the sun does come out during those months, I just stand there and I just bask in it like I'm a little plant. And I think that's just honestly what it is that I don't get enough sunlight from those months. So knowing that I struggle with seasonal depression, I was trying to find ways to fill my time, do activities that I enjoy, get more rest. I made a lot of plans with different friends. I was trying to go out more. If I didn't feel like leaving the house, I didn't, and I just stayed in and cuddled with my dogs and I read. I read a lot in February and in January. So I think it's just about finding things that will make you happy during those months. What would really make me happy is if I was down south during the winter, like a little snowbird, but we can't do that yet because I'm not 75 and retired. My next goal was to stop worrying so much because like, again, I also have anxiety, which, you know, just a little cocktail of mental illness mixed in together. And I just worry a lot about the future, about what ifs, what should I do, what's going on, and I don't live in the present moment, and I know it, and I'm trying to not worry so much. Like, I have a stable job, I have a home that I live in. Do I know what I'm doing next? No, but I shouldn't freak out about it 24/7 like I have been. So I've been trying not to freak out all the time, basically, is what I call it. And then finally, this was just a cute little goal, was to have fun. That's all. I wanted to make sure that I made the most of February, even though I know that it's not the easiest month of the year for me. So my goal was to just have fun, make memories, hang out with friends, get yourself out of the house when you can. And I did a really good job with that, so pat on the back there. So one of my goals for the new year is to listen to new music, read new books, see new movies. So I just want to share with you a couple of the things that I discovered this month and how I felt about them. So we're gonna start with new albums. I did listen to Deftones' White Pony. So that's an album from the early 2000s. They're considered a new metal, kind of new metal indie band. And I've been aware of them for a long time. I just never really like got into their music. And they're definitely a vibe. I think they have a very relaxing sound in the sense of the rock music world. Like, it's still kind of dark and moody, but I really enjoyed the album, so I'm gonna listen to more of their stuff. The other new album that I listened to was Tusk by Fleetwood Mac. I hadn't listened to this album before, and I've listened to their first two albums a lot, and I'm trying to get more into their other albums because I need to expand. So I listened to Tusk and I really liked it because overall I like Fleetwood Mac. So it's hard for me to say, wow, I really hate that song by Fleetwood Mac. I don't think anybody can say that. Plus, this goes into the book that I've been reading lately, is the biography of Stevie Nicks. I'm only like maybe a third of the way through because I was reading other books in February. But so far I really like it. I think it just is a little bit too fast paced sometimes, where I wish it was getting into more detail. For how long it is, I feel like it's not getting into as much detail as I'd like. And it's very abrupt, but that's probably just their style of writing, so you gotta get used to that kind of stuff. I've been having a hard time wanting to read nonfiction or biography, autobiography kind of books lately. Like, I don't hate nonfiction books. Like, I've read a bunch of biographies before, but like, I don't know, the last few months, I've only been wanting to read like simple fiction, easygoing reads, which brings me into my next book, actually, that I really loved it. It was definitely a youth kind of book, but sometimes you just need that when you're like an adult and every single book is about infidelity and murder and you just want something cute. So I read Better Than the Movies. This is a rom-com type book, young adult. It's an enemies to lovers. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in one of my videos before because it was part of my book haul. I really liked it. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, honestly. It was a really fun read. And I mean, you see it coming, but like that's kind of the comfort of it, is that it's not like a bunch of twists and turns. You're gonna get what you want. So I do recommend it if you're looking for an easy, cute kind of read and it's not so serious. So I really liked this book. So the third book that I read, I actually did mention it in my last video. I finished it. It was The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. And I mean, like, there was twists and stuff that I didn't see coming. And I don't usually read mystery kind of books. However, I do think that she really needs to improve on the dialogue in the book, because every time I read the characters talking, I'm just like, I don't think people really talk like this. It was just so forced, and I had a really hard time liking the characters because of that. So I'm pretty sure I gave this book like a 2.5. Like, it wasn't like a terrible read. It was pretty easy. I wanted to finish it because I wanted to know who the killer was, but I wouldn't read it again, and I really wouldn't recommend it to anybody just because, again, it was all the dialogue. I have a pretty good suspension of disbelief to where, yeah, these legal proceedings and her defending her husband in a murder trial, I know that's not accurate, but I can look past that because it's a book. It read like a Wattpad book by an 11-year-old, and I know that sounds really mean when I say that. It's just the dialogue, honestly. Like, just work on the dialogue because the story idea is there. But yeah, anyway, 2.5 was not my favorite read of the month. So now I'm just gonna talk a little bit about a couple of the movies that I saw that I really enjoyed. All 3 of these movies. I know there's been some criticism of Ant-Man Quantumania. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Again, I'm very easy to please when it comes to movies. Like, if I enjoy myself, I'm not gonna complain like, oh, it's not the best cinematic masterpiece. Not every movie's gonna be like that. Sometimes I just want a fun little movie, and Paul Rudd is in it, so what more do I need? I did give the movie 3.5 stars. It wasn't MCU's best movie, and I do feel like they don't put in as much work into the Ant-Man movies as they should, but it was funny. I think it's gonna set up for the big arc of the MCU in this next chapter, and I'm hoping that they just keep building on it, because last year's movies were kind of not great. I did watch a bunch of rom-coms, but I'm only gonna talk about When Harry Met Sally. That was my first time watching it. It was really good. It was really like ahead of its time, I feel like, for the 80s. So I had a really good time watching that movie. I watched it with my dad. We both enjoyed it, so maybe I just have dad taste. I just watched this movie last night. I finally watched Elvis by Baz Luhrmann, and as long as the movie is, I still feel like it was rushed. Like, we didn't get that much into his backstory, into pre-signing up for the war, and I wish I had more of that. However, music was great. I loved the movie. Austin Butler was so good in it. He really embodied Elvis, like, perfectly. He did such a good job, and honestly, I just wish the movie was longer. Even though it was 2.5 hours, I'm still saying I wish it was longer. So maybe a director's cut, just saying. But we really need to start resetting for March. I really need to clean my room. I'm gonna set some new goals for March, and I'm just overall gonna prep myself for the new month, so join me as we get ready for March. So as always, my room is very messy. That's just a dirty towel because I am a dirtbag and I didn't put it in the laundry. I have clothes to put away. I stripped the bed to wash my sheets, change out the comforter. I have bags that need to get put away. Dirty sock. There's a dirty sock under there. And then my desk is messy, it's dusty. I have some work to do. I should probably clean the mirror as well but as you can see, I changed. So I can get into full cleaning mode. The hair is up. The wrinkly t-shirt is on. So I'm gonna get cleaning.
Just in this drawer that has sawdust in it, the lid did not.
Y'all, the Be Real just popped off. We're gonna be in it. Scanning some receipts on my phone. I scan them through the Fetch app to earn points back for shopping, and I don't mind the app. I mean, you can earn gift cards and stuff, so not sponsored. I just happen to use it. And then I'm gonna use those receipts and check my bank account and all that stuff to track on my Google Sheets how much I've spent, how much money I've earned from paychecks and stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do first, and then I'm going to plan out my YouTube content for March. This is my weekly to-do. I have it by days, and then when I'm doing what workouts, what I'm doing that day, what I planned, this I need to reset because this is from last Friday. So, and then I have a couple of lists for myself, like what's on my TBR. I did finish The Perfect Marriage, so I can take this off of here. This is just what it looks like. It's really simple. Just what do I have to do tomorrow? I'm gonna work out. Probably add some other stuff to that once I know what I need to do. And then if you go to my social media one, I just keep it simple and I have it to do, what I'm currently doing, which is also this I'm currently doing, what's done, Instagram ideas, analytics, TikTok, and then YouTube down at the end. So I keep it very simple, easy to follow for myself and I don't feel overwhelmed by it. I think it's just easier to use than Notion and more straightforward. Let's talk about my goals for March. I'm setting smaller goals because I don't want to overwhelm myself. March is already a tough enough month for me. I'm not gonna try and go overboard trying to hit specific goals. These goals aren't exactly tangible goals. They're just more of an overarching theme for the month. So let me just tell you what they are. First of all, I want to spend less money. And in that sense, I mean not buy frivolous things just because I'm bored or I want something to make me feel better. I feel like I spent a lot of money in February. I want to curb my spending a little bit. Secondly, I want to find my creative spark again. I feel like I have not felt very creative, especially with my videos. I haven't been doing a whole lot of creative hobbies lately. I just don't really have any creativity. So I'm hoping once the sun starts to come out a little bit more, I get out of the house more, I'll find more creativity. I'm just hoping in March that I'll be able to find that creative spark again. My third goal is to just stay busy. Again, March is still pretty gloomy, rainy, and sad. It makes it hard for me to want to leave the house and do things, and that could be really bad for my mental health. Even though I love being home, but being home too much, it makes it really hard to want to leave ever, and that's not healthy to not ever leave your house, I guess. So they say. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed resetting for March with me. I do have some interesting stuff coming up in March that I'm excited for, and I'm hoping to provide some better vlogs that I'm more proud of rather than not posting at all. I just really don't like to post videos that I don't feel proud of or I don't like. That's why I've been really struggling with making videos lately, is I haven't felt that creative spark. So maybe March will bring that, I'm hoping. But I do have some plans, so I do have some cool videos coming up though, so I'm really excited and I think you guys will like them. If you aren't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe, like this video, it helps my channel a lot, and follow me on social media. You can find me here. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next week.